champions, you a champion. I'm champion, we are champions. They say it's a little bit slow, but I'm all about control. When I stun and confuse, cause there's no way I would lose. I flip up and down, villains stand you round till I'm ready or not. This combo ready to drop 20, 30 damages and cannon hawk smash. I'm a bash, put him in the trash and call it a match. Let's step up in the portal or get up in game. Dead Winnie the Nelson, so keep it locked and watching. I'm a superhero, always willing to go to blow with crimes to save so many lives. A stud is do or die. Marvel champions, you a champion. I'm champion, we are champions. I'm a superhero, always willing to go to blow with crimes to save so many lives. A stud is do or die. Marvel champions, you a champion. I'm champion, we are champions. They call me Desperate Gaming, he's an animal. Watch him play, expert 2, standard 2, clowning you. Villains with every aspect I choose, and showing just that they lose when they step in the game. Everyone knows my name, Doctor Strange, who, Spider-Ham, maybe, and Black Widow. On a secret mission to stop the villain. Dance of Death is the main event. Unless I'm Rocket Raccoon, no time to be rude. Oh wait, I just murmured you. I'm a superhero, always willing to go to blow with crimes to save so many lives. A stud is do or die. Marvel champions, you a champion. I'm champion, we are champions. I'm a superhero, always willing to go to blow with crimes to save so many lives. A stud is do or die. Marvel champions, you a champion. I'm champion, we are champions. They say it's a little bit slow, but I'm all about control. When I stun and confuse, cause there's no way I would lose. I flip up and down, villains stand you round till I'm ready or not. This combo ready to drop 20, 30 damages and cannon hawk smash. I'm a bash, put him in the trash and call it a match. Let's step up in the portal or get up in game. Dead Winnie the Nelson, play expert 2, standard 2, clowning you. Villains with every aspect I choose, and showing just that they lose when they step in the game. Everyone knows my name, Doctor Strange, who, Spider-Ham, maybe, and Black Widow. On a secret mission to stop the villain. Dance of Death is the main event. Unless I'm Rocket Raccoon, no time to be rude. Oh wait, I just murmured you. Superhero, always willing to go to blow with crimes to save so many lives. A stud is do or die. Marvel champions, you a champion. I'm champion, we are champions. I'm a superhero, always willing to go to blow with crimes to save so many lives. A stud is do or die. Marvel champions, you a champion. I'm champion, we are champions. They say it's a little bit slow, but I'm all about control. When I stun and confuse, cause there's no way I would lose. I flip up.
All right, we are live. We're here. We're doing an exciting stream. And I have Brant from the Portal on my channel. Oh my God, it's Christmas. So this is a special one. We both like playing Rush. It's kind of a way to play Marvel Champions, but it's in some regards there's some I guess some things about it that it rubs people the wrong way. But we want to share why we like it and why you might want to try it or give it another shot if you only did it 1 or 2 times. Speaking of that, we're going to basically go into about Rush, what it is, what we like about it. We could talk a little bit about the negatives about it, but we want to kind of shine some light on Rush. And starting off, Brant, why don't you... for me, I'm a big fan of your speed run rushes where you kind of rush through a bunch of villains in a stream. Sure. I enjoy kind of just seeing how, because I think for me is Rush, yes, there. We're all trained to kind of, you build up, you control, and then you get to a point in the game where you smash the villain. That's typically how we're kind of taught or kind of shown. If you were brought into the game, usually you'll be kind of taught the rules and how to play and what you should emphasize. But Rush is a lot different. Rush is kind of like you throw out a lot of things, but you're still doing the victory condition. That being said, why don't you talk a little bit about Rush and why you do like playing the Rush game?
Yeah, I mean, I really like Rush just because it gives another style of play. So I have definitely dropped back in my plays, but at one point I was playing 10 times a day. So somewhere, whatever, early COVID or whatever, I was playing the game 10 times a day. The first day I got the game, I played it 11 times. We were at a 24-hour event at our store, and I taught people the whole 24 hours, so I played 11 times. And so playing 10 times a day is like the variety is what brings me back. So I don't necessarily want to be like, okay, I'm going to take Captain America leadership and I'm going to play everything I possibly can with Captain America leadership. To me, that's not as exciting. So Rush just became like an idea, and what it was inspired by, not that I came up with the idea, but was when Team Covenant was trying to take down Rhino Heroic 3. So Team Covenant was doing videos all through COVID, and people would watch, and they were playing Marvel Champions, and they came up with those crazy ideas. And my buddy Larry and I started talking about it, and with Captain Marvel and with She-Hulk, we were able to think of a way okay, we could just deal maximum damage. And then out of that, I was like, I think you could rush a lot of these things, and I did it with Captain Marvel and whatnot. And I thought it was a neat way to play. It gave a whole different style. Now, a lot of it is in the deck build, so you're kind of building the deck, and then you're laser focused on what you want to do. So you do skip a lot of cards. So I know that has been something people have said, well, I want to play their cards. When an interesting card comes up for Spectrum, I want to play Photon Speed. I don't want to skip it. But since everything's a resource, I don't think it's a big deal. You're just using your cards as a resource, and whatnot. But the biggest thing for me with Rush is I actually wouldn't enjoy Rush if it was cookie cutter. And there is a cookie cutter build in Aggression. You can basically just put everything that has physical resources in and deals damage, Hulk included, even though he doesn't have a physical resource. And you could just put that package into any hero, and they can rush basically by playing their damage events and those aggression events. But where Rush really got interesting to me is actually the first time I did Rush with Captain Marvel was in Justice. And so being able to do that in Justice, and then Star-Lord comes along, and Star-Lord is just the absolute king of Rush. People like Wolverine because Wolverine is a lot more straightforward.
Yeah, I would say at first you think Justice, what? But then you think about all that card advantage. You could play one way or another. You don't really care about a side scheme, right? But get a bunch of extra card advantage. So yeah, I mean, in a way, Justice is not such far-fetched to think it could be a Rush aspect, because I think in Rush, one of the main tenets in Rush is you shall not thwart, basically, or do very little of it. You're just, like you said, laser focus into damage. But you think Aggression is cookie cutter? I mean, Aggression is tailored towards, I guess you could say, damage. Therefore, Rush is a good aspect for it. But I think I would disagree with you on the. I don't think every hero is geared for Rush. I think there are much better candidates for Rush. And because some heroes do need kind of setup to do optimal damage. But I could agree that most heroes could probably pull it off, especially in Aggression. But I don't think every hero can. And I think some villains are I think we didn't really touch on it, but I think there are harder villains to rush than other villains, which require a lot more finesse and more focus. But yeah, going back to deck building, like you said, you're really emphasizing card advantage. Damage is your number one. But I think low costs, if you are going to play upgrades or supports, it has to be very low cost. Because if you play a mansion, there goes like your almost your whole turn, or like 70%, 80% of your turn.
Yeah, I don't know that I ever really play upgrade or supports. The things I can think about are like combat training, hand cannons, things that deal damage.
Yeah, like I'll run a Def Focus because it's very cheap. Like for a one cost, I can usually do a bunch of damage and then just play it because I have like maybe one resource left. So I can kind of play it, and then it's gonna kind of give me a little bit more burst damage to like unleash my hand. But I would just say, piggybacking on what you like about Rush and all that. So I played the standard way of playing Marvel Champions. Control, build up, and then demolish the villain, which I think is a great way to play the game. I think at its core, you do get to feel like you see a bunch of the counter cards. You go through the decks, the player deck, the counter deck, and then it's like a kind of a balancing act to try to control the villain, and then kind of give it to him, which I think is very like comic book style, because the villain seems to have the upper hand at the start of the game in most cases, which is true in like the comic book fashion, right? The villains usually kind of give the first blood, or like the heroes are in the gutter and they have to fight their way up. But I think Rush is legitimate. I don't think because I know some people are like, oh, defeats the purpose to play Marvel Champions. Why Rush? Like, I think it's just a different way of, the game is so customizable, and also the way you play it. And I think it's cool that you can actually rush in this card game. I mean, it would be kind of like I like they leave the door open, because I know some villains, there's maybe a couple villains in the game that you really can't rush down per se, but pretty much like 80% of the villains, I think you have a good shot at rushing them down. But yeah, I would say for me, I like playing the Rush because it's a different kind of play for me. And yeah, and what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else, but I would just challenge people. Like, I know the common thing I hear is that's not how you play Marvel Champions, or I don't want the game to end in 3 or 4 rounds.
Yeah.
But I will say this, it is challenging, and like Brant said, maybe play a hero that isn't catered towards Rush, and try to rush. It's a different type of challenge. You do have to deck build very smartly, and especially if you're not deck building an aggression, you then have to start to really think about, okay, how can I get the damage I need in this aspect or whatnot. So yeah, I would just say, like Brant, it's a different way to play the game. You might enjoy it. I mean, if you only tried it once or 2 times, you might not have the full idea of what it is. But yeah, give it a try. We're gonna do a villain, and we're gonna do a 2-player rush, which you sort of have. Okay, so when you do the rush game, 1 player can't just be rushing, because it's not gonna work very well. So you both have to be doing the same thing, and hopefully, our goal is to just smash the villain and knock the villain out. But other than that, I guess there's nothing else to really talk about Rush.
There's so much more.
Oh, there's more.
You cut me off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just saying. No, it's fine. I was just saying I was interested because when Star-Lord came out, you can really do it with leadership so well. He can play those high-cost allies and those go-down swingings, really, just because go-down swinging allows you to use the ally. So you put the ally out for cheap, you use the ally, and then they go down swinging possibly on the next turn, and you get their value in damage, which is pretty awesome. And then when Wolverine came out, I was like, let me try protection. And now today I'm going to play Spectrum in protection, and I have successfully been able to do it in all 4 aspects. I have not done Rush in basics. That might be a thing. There is definitely an element that it's a deck builders thing. Like, if you really like to take your precons, tweak 2 or 3 cards, and play, I can understand Rush not necessarily being a place that people want to go, but you could definitely build some kind of Rush package. I agree with you. I actually think aggression has multiple ways to go. I do feel like almost any hero could do it, not against any villain, but if you take some of the very low HP villains, like Zola or like Crossbones, who I believe have 26 health, on their first 2 stages combined. Like, that's pretty doable to deal 8 damage a turn, 8 to 10 damage a turn. So you could definitely do that. But there are better heroes for doing it, which I guess maybe at some point we might try to do some kind of list of heroes and whatnot. But
So
yeah,
what-
it's that variety that I really enjoy
Yeah.
about Rush. I would have lost on Rush a long time ago if it was just basically always include these 3 cards. Nothing ever changed. In fact, when I did Justice Rush, there was no one way or another. That didn't come out until Nebula, and I did it with Rise of Red Skull. So it just changes things, you know.
What I want us to do, since you're playing Spectrum, I'm playing Hulk, I want us to each explain why we picked this hero and why they're good at the rush strategy, or at least try your best to explain why they're a good candidate. I'll go first. Okay, I think Hulk is excellent because most his toolkit is around damage. His main upgrade is a damage upgrade. Even his support upgrade, or it's not a support upgrade, his HP that gives him retaliate allows him to even stay in the fight, maybe knock a tough off when the villain tries to swing at you. But yeah, more importantly, I think he's catered towards just great damage. But the high HP is really nice because you throw him in aggression, he could run things like counterattack, which counterattack is basically an upgrade that can be put down. When the villain attacks you, you can do that damage right back at the villain. So the dude's at 18 health starting at. He can use that card very easily and not have to sweat about it one bit. And he has a high attack off the bat, 3 ready to go. Spectrum, probably the best. I mean, she can get 3 with a ping, so it's like 4, but you have to constantly flip. But I would say I think Hulk is a really good candidate. And I got him in aggression because mainly of the things I was talking about. But more importantly, he's got some readies in his deck. He has Crushing Blow that reflects his attack stat. So I feel like aggression seems to be the best logical choice for him for Rush. And that is my reasons why I'm playing Hulk today. What about you for Spectrum?
Yeah, so I have her in protection. So really it was can I rush in protection was the idea, but you kind of hit the nail on the head. When she flips up, she gets a free ping from Gamma. Obviously one of the frustrating things with her is, you know, can she change forms? But since I'm going to go to aggression and I want to deal damage, I don't really need to change forms. So I can look at my hand, and if I have a speed of light and I don't have a way to get back to aggression, I could just opt to not play it so that I can stay in aggression. Or I could change to defense mode so I could live another turn, you know, if it ends up having to go for 4 turns. Other than that, I have energy barriers to ping damage back, plasma pistols to deal damage, and then they turn into repurposes. So they basically, like a plasma pistol can come out, deal a damage, and then repurpose to give me +2. So it's 2 for 3, which isn't great, but you're always just looking for damage. It doesn't always have to be the maximum efficiency. It's good if it is. Like, you're going to do better if you have maximum efficiency. So I can't actually see you, Descry, so I set my phone up here.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I can't see anything in Discord.
What we should try to do too is just
Can I
try
go to the table?
Yeah, let's go to the table. I'm gonna just mute my stuff and then go to the table. Do you see, like, when you go to Discord, do you see the shared screen of mine? Like, does it show?
It did, and it went away, but it said watch stream.
Oh,
So, anyway, I can look at my phone. We'll be a few seconds behind, but I can do that. Yeah, so I put in the Ever Vigilance to ready her, What Doesn't Kill Me to ready her, Leading Blows to ready her. Specifically, I want to play Leading Blow after a Repurpose to basically guarantee it'll deal damage and then ready. Repurpose ready, so it's kind of an Ever Ready build, which honestly, Hulk could basically do this build as well.
right.
He could build right around this in green because he's punching for 3, so he's very similar. Obviously, with a smaller hand size, be a little tricky. And then this is the card that was an MVP for me, which I was so happy because people hate encounter cards. They hate them. Like, it's the reason that people don't want to play Star-Lord, because they think taking an encounter card equals game over. But this card deals 5 damage after you get a treachery. So I'm hoping that we can show off that the treacheries are not game ending. But I could be totally wrong, and we could draw game ending treacheries over and over and over again.
Well, I guess the positive is that playing the rush game, you know, if you scoop, it's a quick shuffle and you're back at it again. So
Yep. And Spider-Man Miles Morales is 3 for 8 damage, because he comes out, deals 4, and then deals 2 and 2, and he's a blocker in a pinch.
yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to figure
Yeah,
out.
no worries.
I'm working
And
on
then her Gamma Blasts, which get her back to Gamma form, are essentially 3 for 8, because you change back to that form and then deal 8 damage. So they're pretty good, or deal 7 damage. So you deal 1 plus 7.
Yeah. All right, so this is
And then
gonna.
she has these for resources if we need them.
So I just want to say to people watching, my OBS kind of defaulted and all my settings got like kind of erased. So I can't even show my cards today. Like usually I would have the cards like I have another camera for it, but whatever. But we're just gonna, you know, we're just gonna roll. I don't want to spend all this time trying to fix this stuff while we're streaming. So we got to roll for, this is going to be a very low technology Descry stream, so we're just going to go for it. I guess we have to pick a villain, right? We have to roll for it, if I remember.
Yeah, so I thought it'd be fun to do Morlock Siege, because every time you defeat one of them, they activate against you, which makes it extra hard. So I don't know this is doable, but I believe when I tried it with Wolverine, I did it on my second try. It was either 2 or 3 tries I was able to do it. But Wolverine, he's funny because he dies more often for me than Star-Lord. Because he's naturally taking damage. So if you get an assault, it's hard to protect against it.
All right, so we got villain, Arc-Light. Let's just put them all down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I have a 6 dice and 7 villains. Okay, how are we gonna do this? Well, I guess I could shut my eyes and shuffle, and then yeah, that's the better way to do it. All right, I'm gonna shut my eyes, shuffle this up. We'll see who we're going against, and that will be. Gosh. All right.
Yeah, I agree here too with Steven. Like, Vision and Spectrum are by far the 2 most underrated heroes in this game. They come out low, scores low from the community all the time, and they're so good. Like, other heroes kind of make sense to me because they struggle, but
don't get me started on tier lists, man.
I'm not even looking at tier lists. I'm just saying the community in general is like, yeah, Spectrum's okay, and it's like, it's unbelievable.
But I think Steve is the wiser. He said one time, oh my gosh, my camera looks so bad. It's all stretched, but that's fine. Yeah, my settings aren't correct right now. So yeah, we have Grey Crow, and then his ability. I'll just read it because I don't have my zoom up right now because everything's screwed up in Streamlabs. Grey Crow gets plus attack for this attack, where X is the printed cost of your highest cost card you control. But if we're rushing, we're not going to have a lot of high cost cards, so that's not too bad. He has a 2 attack though. And his other, to not increase his attack, it says discard each card you control with the highest cost.
Are we rushing on expert or standard?
It's going to be expert.
Okay, that's going to be harder. Sure.
We could do it.
I
believe in us.
All right. Especially this scenario, because you got to fight 3 villains.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Okay, so put route environment to play. We did it. Set high treachery in each Morlock aside. Did it. Shuffle the villains together without look in the villain deck. Top card is your villain deck. Okay. All right, so I'll just put that aside, and then High gets put aside. Morlock, boom, boom, boom. This starts with 2 on it, 12 is the cap. There's 2 schemes. Force response after resolving step 1 of the villain phase. Place 1 knock counter here. Oh yeah, there's a clock. I remember. Okay. That's gonna start.
Yeah, that's the goal. If you can kill them in 3 turns, they never even knock.
No knocking.
I don't know that 3 turns on expert is going to be. It depends on who we draw, I guess.
All right. I'll let you be player 1. You can draw up to your hand size.
Yep.
I'll just do a shuffle of the counter deck. Okay. All right, Descry, I guess I could just have my deck over here. All right, so guys, like, I think mulliganing is very important when you're doing rush. It really dictates, you know, your momentum and your tempo. So I'm gonna mulligan 3 cards here.
The other part I'm realizing, because we're playing expert, there's going to be a lot more triple boosts, so I probably wouldn't use leading blow in an expert rush as much, you know?
All right, so you're up to bat, Mr. Brandt from the portal.
Yeah. Well, I will flip up to photon form and remove a threat. Is there any on there?
Yep, goes down to 1.
All right. Then I will play Speed of Light to change to Gamma form and deal a damage.
Okay.
Draw a card. Oh man, this is not good. All right, I will attack for 3 using a leading blow. So I have to discard an encounter card.
Oh, sorry. I'm like in La La
It's funny
Land
because I'm
here.
watching this and it's like 10 seconds
Oh
behind.
shoot, that's a whoops. That's oh gosh. That's a triple.
Yeah, so this is where expert's a lot harder. All right, so then I will play Return the Favor, and you have to discard until I get a Treachery.
Okay. Assault.
So I did not realize we were doing expert. I usually rush on standard, so that's a differential there.
When you play with Descry, it's always expert.
Well, it makes sense, but I probably wouldn't have picked this set of you know what I mean? This set of villains or this set of cards. That's all.
So it's an assault. He's going to. How do you want to do his thing? When Greg, you have nothing down, right? Yeah.
Nope.
So if you do
attack me for 2.
Yeah, because it says Greg Hero gets plus X attack for this attack, where X is the printed cost of the highest cost card you control, which means in play.
Yeah, 0.
Okay, so it'd be 2 damage with. Oh shoot, my zoom is really bad. Yeah, 4.
All right, so I go down to 7.
You do 5.
Oh, he does 5. Is he 3 plus a boost?
No. Return the Favor is.
I deal 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sorry, I misunderstood you. It's confusing that I'm seeing a screen that's 10 seconds behind. All right, and then I will use.
Brent, there must be because when I do this, everybody can see this when they go to Discord, but you don't see all the boxes on Discord.
I have a picture of you with a peach background. That's all I have. I don't know what I'm supposed to hit. I just don't usually play in Discord, so
okay.
Maybe there's a button I'm supposed to hit, but I don't know what it is. I can share my screen. Yeah, I don't know what it is. And then Blue Marvel will attack for 2.
Attack for 2. Okay. Just give me 1 sec. I want to move this. All right, attack for 2. Boom. Goes to 16. All right. So that's you? Okay, I will do experimental. I draw a card. I will discard, I guess, a card. Let's see. I guess this is not, I mean, I could play Psylocke because then one of us can flip to alter, which is, yeah, I think we'll do. You might be wondering why I run Psylocke. She still does good damage, so I'll play 4 resources.
I wouldn't worry about it because the scheme can just it's not going to get enough threat.
Oh, really? But I mean,
okay, so what can it go to? 18.
But when we does the confused status doesn't carry over to the new villain, right? Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, so hold on. Yeah, playing Psylocke would not be the smart play here. Okay, so we'll pay a resource to put plan B. I guess I'll put my counterattack down. Wait, do I have 1 card left, I think. Hold on. I should have, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 resource, 2 resource. Oh, yeah,
I mean, that's
okay.
That's the funny play. If you play Psylocke against Grey Crow and counterattack,
no,
Grey Crow attacks you +4. Your counterattack hits really hard.
Yeah. I'm gonna chuck this to do plan B. We will do 2 damage. I will attack for 3, down to 11. Okay, that'll be it.
So we did very poor on damage because we definitely wanted to flip the villain the first turn. In my mind, but I don't. You might do different for me. That might be part of it, right?
No, I didn't have a strong hand there. My mulligan wasn't that great. All right, so after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, place 1 knock counter. All right, he's gonna initiate attack. Your highest
I
cost.
forgot when Blue Marvel came in, I had to change forms, huh?
Yeah. Okay. Use your heal 1. Yeah, you go up 1. Okay, good.
Yeah.
How do you want to do his force interrupt?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's just gonna have to hit me.
Okay, are you? Okay, so you're giving him the bottom one,
hit me
so
for 5?
5 with boost.
Oh, I might die, huh? So I'll just have to block with Blue Marvel.
Okay.
You're throwing me off with this expert thing, man. It's a lot harder.
I'm
not used to it.
All right, so he's gone. All right, he's gonna attack me. My highest upgrade is a 1, so it just makes him 3 with a boost. I'll take it undefended. Yeah, so we've got 5 damage. I'll take 5 and counterattack him for 5. Go down to 6.
And I had a what doesn't kill me, so actually, I'm not playing well because I'm getting thrown off by not being able to see the board and not preparing for expert.
All right, your counter card's gonna be Bound by Business. Discard cards from the counter deck until a Marauder minion that does not share a title with the card in play is discarded. Put that minion into play, engage with you. So we're discarding. You get Chimera, which isn't too bad. She has patrol, but that's it. And then I'm getting the villain attacks you if there are at least 1 villain under routed. This attack gains overkill, so he would be getting 3 with a boost. I'll just take it.
Oh wait, hold on. Blue Marvel is a hero response, meaning I don't have to do it, right?
All right. I become player 1.
I'm gonna stay in game.
I am going to. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna spend 2 resources, an Audacity and a Skill Strike resource to do Spider Girl, which will stun and confuse your minion. And I do a damage from Audacity down to 5. Spider Girl and Hulk will flip the villain kill. And so this is a villain underneath routed. Oops. And then we're getting Blockbuster. This guy has his +2 attack thing gives him overkill. So he comes in at 28.
Wow.
Yeah, it's retaliate 1 as well. Plan B will do 2 damage to him. I will flip to my altar site. He's a 1 scheme though. And pass it to you.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna use energy to play a plasma pistol and deal him a damage.
Okay. 25.
I'm gonna attack for 3.
And you take a retaliate.
Right. I'm down to 6. I'm gonna play.
Oh, you're down to
kill
you're down to 7. I think, because you healed 1 by going to Pulsar.
I didn't go to Pulsar form.
Oh, okay, down to 6.
Because I think I didn't have to. Correct, with Blue Marvel, it's a hero response. So I don't have to do it.
Right.
Not forced.
Okay.
Yeah. I will then heal 2 to go back up to 8, and attack for 3, go back down to 7, and then flip down to Monica Rambeau.
Okay. All right. Believe in the rush, Brad.
Well, it's just you asked me to pick a villain, and I picked them thinking we were playing on standard. They have a lot of health on expert. You really want to stay below 35 combined health.
All right,
per
so
player.
it's gonna go to.
If you want to get
5.
above 35, then there's only a handful of heroes that can do that.
2 counters. He's gonna scheme on Hulk. He gets just 2. Then we'll scheme on you for 2. Minions confused. So we're at 909. Counter card. I get a Riptide. Patrol, doesn't matter. You get a guard, but I have Hulk Smash, so don't worry. You get a Vertigo. But it's your player 1 though, so that sucks. Because I have the Hulk Smash, but it's not my turn. I will use experimental while you're thinking. I get skill strike.
All right, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Who do I have in front of me? Vertigo. How much health?
Vertigo has 4 health.
I will flip up to Gamma, deal a damage to Vertigo, and then attack for 3 and kill Vertigo.
Okay.
And I will use my Plasma Pistol to deal a damage to the villain.
Yep.
Speed of Light to go to Pulsar form to heal 1. So I'm back up to 8. Draw a card. Man, I'm 1 short. Use Strength for energy duplication. Then I'll use energy duplication energy duplication, and Spider-Man to play a Gamma Blast. So I forget the timing on this. Do I complete the action before I do the response? I don't think so. I think I change to any energy form, deal a damage, right?
Okay, 18. And then how much is
And
Gamma
then deal
Blast?
7 damage.
Down to
7.
11.
And I take 1. And I am done.
Okay. All right. So Hulk will go to hero. Let's see. How do I want to do this? So I could wait. He's at 11. All right, I guess I'll just pay a resource to put my Death Focus down, use Death Focus plus 2 other cards for Hulk Smash. So I could straight up kill him, or I could kill Riptide and bring him down to what's he at 11? I'd be doing 8, right? Wait. No. Do we want to flip Blockbuster right now?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean Riptide's not so bad. He just puts 2 threat on the main. Well, that's kind of bad actually. But I'm thinking to myself, if, because I don't take a retaliate and I kill Riptide, we just flip him next turn, Blockbuster.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm not sure I'm going to live through double activations, but maybe I can.
Oh, we probably
Yeah,
want to get
fair.
rid of Blockbuster because he has overkill. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Hulk Smash. We'll delete him.
I just have to hope the next villain doesn't hit very hard.
I do take a retaliate. I go down to 7. So our next one is gonna be Vertigo.
I think you'll actually take 2 retaliate, right? Because the villain will go under routed, then you'll take the retaliate.
Oh, actually, I take no retaliate because I killed him. There's no villain there to retaliate if he's killed.
Gotcha. I guess we always played it that the next villain comes out.
Nah, that wouldn't
And
make any
they have
sense
retaliate
because
too.
you're attacking the villain that you just killed. Why would the new villain, be in your face at this point? No.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like Zola, I've always gotten retaliate from going to the next stage. But maybe that's
Yeah, I
'cause
don't
it's the
think.
same
You know
villain.
what? We should ask the Marvel Champions role people on that
Yeah, it's a good question.
because I don't think we've ever really
retaliate
asked that.
In effect.
She's only. Oh gosh, we're lucky, Brent. She's only 24. That's nothing.
All right. You can do that.
Her thing is stun the character you control with the highest attack, or Vertigo gets +2 attack for this attack. Okay, so that's gonna, Spider Girl is gonna be used as a blocker, and that will be it. All right, it's kind of a weird hand that I got, but we'll make it work.
Wait, hold on. She activates against us, right?
Oh, when we kill her. Oh, we forgot to do that with Blockbuster, I think, right?
Oh, I think we did.
Okay, well, let's just, she'll activate. First on you. You need a, gosh, your health is 8.
It's fine. I'll stun myself.
Okay, so 1 attack with boost.
She'll attack for 1.
Oh, triple. So 4. Down to 4.
Down to 3.
Oh, sorry. Down to 3? Wouldn't it be? She's 1 attack. You were at 8
I was
health.
at 7. I took a retaliate that you didn't trigger.
Oh, okay. 3. She's gonna attack me. Kind of need Spider Girl to block for you. That's the problem.
Well, I might draw my card.
I'll
block.
defend with Hulk. And should I give her the plus? Oh no, wait! I can't defend. I attacked. I'm exhausted right now. This is weird. I don't know what to do. If I take a stun, that really sucks, though. Hulk doesn't like to be stunned, but I'll take the stun because we don't want to be taking a lot of damage here. I'll just take it. Yeah, gains overkill. Okay, 2 damage. Okay. All right, so this goes up. It's at 9, 10, 11, 1 away, but the 3rd knock counter, we advance to the mutant one. Each player puts one side Morlock ally into play under their control. Shuffle the hide treachery. Okay, so they come in with tough. Your Morlocks.
Yep.
Starts with 0. 16 is the cap. Zosmo.
So they actually help us here because they can take a hit.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, maybe I shouldn't took this stun, but that's fine. Okay, so you got your Morlock ally. Now, do they get targeted automatically?
I think that's what it says on them. Forced response.
Yeah.
Is on the Morlock.
You or your ally you control. Okay. Okay, so attack coming at you. I guess you want your Morlock to take it for you?
Yes, please.
All right, so your Morlock, I guess I'll put out for you because you don't have it. Yeah, gives her the +2 attack, 3 attack, 4. Okay, tough comes off. Stun comes off Chimera. And then I will let the Morlock take my, yeah, the Morlock can, I guess, take my damage. Riptide plays 2 threat on the main scheme. Okay, so 2 threat goes on the main. Riptide hits me for 1. All right, counter card and counter card. Blockbuster. Oh shoot, it's a guard. And Mutant Slayers. Each Marauder minion gains Quick Strike, but that came after Blockbuster. All right, Hulk's turn. I'm going to. Oh, I didn't defend.
Have a single damage if you need it.
I didn't defend her attack. Remember, I just took the stun. That's what I did. So I think
Blockbuster has 6 health or 5 health.
5. I'm gonna pay 3 resources to play my immovable object. I go up to 9. We'll just exhaust to get stun off. And with the Morlock, does my 1 damage from the Morlock help you with Blockbuster?
I mean, I have a Gamma Blast overkill, so it doesn't really matter.
So I'll just do 1 damage to her. Oh no, she, retaliate too. That's probably.
The Morlock has 5 health, so.
Okay, sure. I take 3 damage. Okay. Yeah, pass it to you.
All right, I will spend energy duplication, ever vigilant, and a gamma blast
You're stunned.
to do. Oh, sorry, I'll exhaust to get rid of my stun. To then play gamma blast for 7 with overkill.
Okay. Brings it to 21.
And then I'll use my plasma pistol.
You don't want
I might
to
as well hold it.
save it in case you
I
get
might
a
as well hold it.
repurpose. Okay.
Well, I was trying to win this turn. I will play Return the Favor.
Uh, so you get back in action. Give the villain a tough status card. Place a threat on the main scheme equal to the number of villains under routed. So basically, your return the favor just knocks off tough, and then she puts 2 more threat on the main.
All right, and I will flip down.
Oh wow. Oh, okay. I guess that'll work.
Sorry, it's my bad. I would not have picked this scenario if we were if I knew it was expert, because this scenario is just
You could do it, Brent. Believe in yourself.
No. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying this hero, like just several things. It was just a misunderstanding on my part. That's all.
Okay. Vertigo's gonna attack. I'm gonna defend with Spider Girl. Give her the +2 attack. And yep. Spider Girl goes. I take 1 damage from this guy, and he puts 2 more on the main. We're probably gonna lose.
What is the main at?
2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. She schemes for 3 with boost. Oh wow, 0 boost. 1 from Chimera. Okay, so we did not lose just yet. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12. Let's just make that easier to look at. Oh, we're supposed to put we're not even gonna bother with Mutant Slayers, but it would have more threat than 3, but it doesn't matter. We're not even focused on that. Counter card and counter card. Grey Crow comes in, but with quick strike. Discard the highest cost card you control.
Is that against me?
No, that's against me. I don't mind. I could discard my Death Folk. Oh no, that might be my immovable object. Grey Crow gets X attack for this attack, where X is the printed cost of the highest cost card you control, which would be immovable object. So it would be a 4 attack. Ouch, that hurts. Yeah, I guess I take 4. I do a retaliate. Marauding ain't easy. That's just a boost acceleration. Okay. Then you're player 1. I could call for a play action and do limited strength triple drop kick to do 4. Take 2 retaliate. I draw a card, but she's stunned. Down to 17.
I can deal 8. Can you deal 9?
Problem is, it's that retaliation. It's gonna kill me. I'm at 2 health. Yeah, damn it. I mean, I could have defended against Grey Crow, I guess. Or wait, no, Grey Crow. Grey Crow. If I defend against Grey Crow, I'm taking only 1. But then, so yeah, I should have probably did that. Defend against Grey Crow. I go up 3 life. Okay, at least I can do 6 damage. 6 more damage.
I can deal 10, so that's going to put us at 16 of 17.
Yeah, we just gotta survive.
Got it. All right, I will flip up to Gamma, deal a damage.
Okay.
Sorry, I have to heal first, so I go to 4. Then I'll use my plasma pistol to deal a damage.
Okay, 16.
I will use Ever Vigilant to remove 2 threat from the main and ready, but I believe I have patrol.
Yeah.
So I do not. I just ready. I will attack for 3.
You take 2 retaliate.
Oh, hold on. I'll play an energy barrier. This might be the damage we need. Then when I take the retaliate, I'll put the damage back on.
Down to
1. I'll
12.
reflect 1 damage.
Yeah.
Hold on. 12. Wait, you said you could deal 6 damage?
I
I had 10, 3, 8,
yeah, I can do 6.
9, 10. I think you missed one somewhere. I think you should be at 11.
Oh, I can actually do 7 because Morlock can attack for 1.
Oh yeah, my Morlock can attack.
Okay, so your Morlock attacks.
And then I'll play Return the Favor.
Okay. What is the treachery? Whoop. Maybe I hope it's an attack one because he's exhaustion. It surges. So this is what happens. You just encounter card for next round, right? Or do we reveal that right now?
No, I just take it for next round. Retaliate 2, so I'm dead, but I will energy barrier 1 back, so that's 6 damage.
Right. Correct. Okay, we won. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I call for a play action. I do power regression and a physical for a drop kick. Another 4. Down to 1. I draw a card and I plan B for the 2 damage.
Woo!
Yeah, one minor note, we forgot to do the activation on Grey Crow, which yeah, I mean, but I mean, in a sense, this was a good kind of illustration of just what a rush looks like. Like, we didn't focus on scheming, we didn't really focus on minions, we just right to the villain. So
yeah, I mean, I guess I don't consider 5 turns rush, but on expert, 4 is generally the minimum. Like some very low health ones, you can do 3 turns.
well, this scenario, I think, like you said, on expert, you get an extra villain to kill. So, well, actually, their healths are, wait, it's like 24, 28.
We did a lot of damage, 48 and 28, right?
Yeah.
So we did 76 damage. That's a lot. That's 38 per player. But it was over 5 turns, I believe it took us.
Let's go back to the face. And I do apologize, people. Like, I did not have my multiplayer Streamlabs was not set up today. It actually, all my stuff, my settings were reset. So I couldn't even show you the zoomed up cards. My resolution was all weird. But anyways, we got this stream done. Yeah, I mean, we forgot the 1 activation on the first flip, but my point is I wanted to showcase what a rush game kind of looks like. I mean, yes, it wasn't a perfect ruled rush game, like we missed the activation, but at least you got the kind of the idea of what it looks like. And that's my whole point of this stream, was just to talk about rush, to show what it looks like, and I think we accomplished that. But your big thing is I cried you by flipping it to expert, and you weren't prepared for it.
Which is fine. You would ask me which villain to do in that scenario, I think. And again, we could say, oh, we did it, but I think with the extra activation, I was definitely dead.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, probably we would have lost. Like, my first starting hand wasn't so hot. I mean, but we stay. I think though we stayed in it, and even with the missed activation, initially you thought it was still game over, but we still came back and won.
Yeah, no, well, I didn't like the leading blows in there when there's extra 3 drops. Extra 3 is bad, right? So
actually, those 3 drops were from the scenario. The ones that you were trying to lead and blow. Yeah, there's a lot of threes in this.
Right, I could have mulliganed those at the beginning and just looked for other cards. Was another option. So
Yeah, Canadian Mustache says that you're the best person to have on to talk about Rush.
I do enjoy it. I need to do. I never know either, but I need to do the Next Evolution campaign, and I never know whether I should just do it with Star-Lord to be consistent, like always show that Star-Lord can do it, or if I should switch up the heroes. It's just when I switch up heroes, I don't know the Rush decks necessarily as well, and I know they're not as potent as Star-Lord.
See, I think
so. Star-Lord's kind of a guarantee.
I challenge you, Brent, because I know you like rushing, but I think you can rush on Expert. In fact, I've done it lots. I've done it on, actually, I did it on Red Skull Expert. Actually, I did it on Red Skull Standard 2 Expert 2 with Hulk.
Sure. I mean, and Hulk's going to get a lot better because he's going to have that health. Now, are you killing him in 3 turns? It's only 36 health for Red Skull, so he's not very high.
I don't know. I think your mindset for this 3-turn thing is a little wrong because, like you said, some villains have a lot of HP. You're not going to get a 3-turn kill all the time.
Gotcha. So that's the differential. I'm looking for 2 and 3-turn kills, and you're saying kill as fast as possible. So if it takes 5 turns, it was still Rush because the focus was there, right?
Well, yeah, I think the principle with Rush is ignore minions, except guard, obviously. Ignore threat, unless it's going to kill you, where you need to get one more round in for the damage. But I think that's what, for me, Rush is. It's not about, do I win on turn 3? I mean, yes, sometimes you could boil it down to, I have to kill this villain on turn 3 because such and such is going to happen. But no, I know you like to play Rush on Standard a lot, which yeah, it's definitely more, I think, more friendlier for rushing. But I think, but that's the challenging part is, can you be an expert villain on Rush? Which I think you can, but you have to be very focused and use your hero strengths to their benefits, basically.
I think what's interesting is that I'm actually not focused on, can I rush and laser focus on the villain? I'm actually trying to do the minimum number of turns.
Right,
So
and you could say that
if I win in 4 and then win in 3 and then win in 2, the 2 was the best win to me because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to minimize turns. I think it's interesting because Josh, what is his channel? Get Up and Game. He did like a Rhino where it was like almost on fast forward and he killed Rhino really fast, like with a timer. And then D20 puts the timer on, is like, I have 2 hours with a timer to beat the campaign, which is the same thing what you did, 30 minutes. And the timer thing is different. Like, I don't think about the timer because I could talk and move my cards as fast as possible. That's more like
I think the timer thing is more battle, I think, like, in video games where they have like style points and like
right.
Where you set like an achievement for yourself to try to reach or whatever. I kind of look at like a timer more for some unique kind of, yeah. But I think if you're trying to measure a Rush game, I don't think necessarily it's the timer really. It's more of maybe how much, depending on. See, the thing, I think the problem with counting the rounds is it's all different depending on the villain. Because there's some villains that it's not, not possible unless maybe the RNG gods smile upon you and you're playing Star-Lord and you just get the most amazing burst damage you can possibly get. But realistically, I think, yeah, you could dumb it down and simplify it and be like, yes, round 3, I want to get the win, and if I don't, I'm scooping. I don't care. But I think that's more practical for Standard, and I think that's what you're probably more used to, and that makes sense if you play on Standard. But Expert, I definitely don't think that's the case. Like, you can't just have these, I'm gonna win on round 3 or 4 on Expert. I think it takes a little more finesse, but you're still pushing the damage.
I agree with you. So I don't play Expert because I'm not playing the same goal that you're playing with Rush, which is interesting that came up throughout this stream, that we actually are rushing with different goals in mind, right? You're rushing to show that I can survive and deal damage without having to do control.
We even flipped to
build.
Alter. That's kind of funny.
I'm trying to go as fast as possible.
Usually,
I always flip to Alter Ego. That's a big thing.
To get a bigger hand size, right?
bigger hand size and flip back up. And then a card like what is the card for changing forms?
Yeah, you get your ping damage.
Surprise attack.
Oh yeah.
Surprise attack becomes a lot more playable because you can play it on turn 1 or turn 3. You know. So I think it's interesting. I don't know what people are more interested in watching. You know, the you won in 30 minutes, but it takes whatever number of turns. I did Rise of Red Skull in 11 turns, and that felt like really good.
No, I think people
3, you know?
are probably entertained with D20's method, but also your method. Like I think it varies to person. Like just like for instance, I don't like for me to sit down and watch a whole stream is very rare because most of the plays I see on live or YouTube or Twitch are either standard or maybe expert, but even on expert, the decks are so well calibrated or the person piloting it knows what they're doing. So it's just a formality of they're just going to crush the villain. And there's so I disconnect, I lose interest. But like when I see someone do some really challenging modular or go into standard 2 or heaven forbid expert 2, I'm like watching the whole entire stream because it's like for me it's like I can see the villain actually being able to defeat the heroes. What were you gonna say?
Are you interested in like interesting deck concepts, or like because Villain Theory obviously makes some very interesting decks, so seeing some of those played out?
Not really. I've never been.
Steve makes amazing decks, you know.
No,
like,
that's not my number one thing. It is cool.
Challenge is really your thing. You want to see the highest level.
I like when people go outside the box and make really interesting decks that combo and stuff. But I still like it done in a difficult setting. I don't want to go watch Rhino or Claw and then Steve's got this really creative deck, but it's like the villain deck isn't really doing anything while he spends an hour or so, or no, he plays fast 30 minutes, but he builds up this huge combo board. But no, that I mean, I guess when I was new to the game, that would interest me a lot because I'd be playing on very low difficulties. But the thing is, for me, and I don't speak for everybody, like I'm very unique player in this spectrum of Marvel Champions. Like I've gotten to the point where like I've been literally playing this game for years, right? And for me, I've sort of gone up this mountaintop, and the only thing that's kind of pushing me to play it more is either new mechanics, so that's like new heroes, new modular sets, or harder difficulties. It's not, and yes, you could say playing in groups of like I'm halfway through a campaign with Late Night and Night of the Living Card Game. And so that's kind of fun because like I don't usually play with too many other players, but it's fun in a way that's kind of new to me. Like I get to see how they play, and at the table it's just interesting because I think that's another thing when you play with say Steve or play with Brian or whoever. Everyone plays a little bit differently. Some players emphasize more risk, or some players are more conservative and like, oh my gosh, I gotta heal up. I'm at 8 health. I like being at 14 or whatever. So, yeah. But I've always said like, you know, play what's in your comfort zone. I do think though, Brent, you kind of, your mindset is that there isn't people like me or very little people out there that are at the point where they want challenge and they want different mechanics. There is, because I have a lot of them on my channel. Now, I know it's not the big lot of the Marvel Champion community, but I do have quite a few people on my channel that are, they do want to challenge. They want new mechanics. They want, and because I know your point of view is kind of like, the kids, grandma, pre-con people come out. But I don't think that's true because you look at Villain Theory's YouTube, that guy's exploded. And the people digesting his content are not grandma and the kids, and they're not pre-con people, or they could be pre-con people, but these people are I mean, this is not a pre-con channel. This is
I
like
100% agree
a
with you
guy
there.
going into every little star, and he puts on his graphics and stuff. So I don't know. I think I do disagree with you, because I know last time we talked, you sort of jumped into like pre-cons and grandma and the kids. I don't think so. Based on what I see, I don't think that's the case.
Pre-con, grandma, and the kids, and the people playing at the store with me in groups, they're not watching YouTube channels. That's my point. They don't even know that I have a channel and they play.
But the people that watch you, what would you say your audience is? Are they the pre-con and grandmas, or what?
No. I think they're people who play Marvel Champions on the regular. At least once a week, if not 5 times.
Because when we last talked, and I have you on video, you said to me, I think the majority of Marvel Champion players are this grouping.
1,000%. The game has sold 250,000
Which
copies.
you said like grandma and the
there's
kids.
2,000 people watching YouTube channels.
Yeah,
That's a very small percentage.
So I'm just saying, then I guess a lot of just people tuning into YouTube Marvel Champions are not those players then.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, I think 95% of people that own the game do not ever watch a YouTube channel about Marvel Champions. Maybe a board game channel that reviews Marvel Champions, like how Roy reviews it on
Because that's very weird,
Dice
because
Tower.
a lot of the new people that just get into this game, they go, oh, I saw the YouTube channel of such and such, Dale the Casual Gamer, or Steve from Play the Game, or Brant from the Portal. So by you saying, no, these people don't really watch YouTube, it's weird, because every time I hear a new player, they say, oh, they went to YouTube and saw this playthrough. And I'm the same way. I bought the game, but I bought it through watching the Team Covenant play it. So I don't know. Yeah. I think I disagree with you on that. I still don't think it's like that huge percent that you're thinking. I think a lot of people, I think nowadays when people buy board games or they get into something, they're going to research it. They're going to go to YouTube and look at reviews and is this something that interests me? I don't think people are just randomly buying a board game, card game, and not doing any background on it because, oh, it looks like a cool game. I mean, I could be wrong. You're the guy that owns a store, so I guess it makes sense what you're saying, because you deal with the public. So maybe I'm like totally, but I know for myself, I'm not one of those like if I'm gonna get into something, I'll watch something on YouTube, maybe a review or overview. I want to get an idea of what this thing's about, and if it hits my check marks, I'm all in, or I go for it.
Here's how I would think about it. How many copies of Marvel Champions core set do you think have sold?
No clue, because I don't. That doesn't really.
250,000 sound about right?
Where do you get that figure?
I guess I don't.
So you're getting a figure from just guessing?
I'm totally guessing.
But But how can you use it then?
I mean, do you think 5,000 is a better figure?
I mean, I have no clue. Fantasy Flight knows. If you ask...
I'm ballparking. Can you give me a ballpark? Or do you not even want to do a ballpark?
I guess what I'm trying to say is maybe on Wikipedia, it probably gives us an idea there. Because usually Wikipedia is pretty good for that. They usually put stuff... I'm
not doing that. I'm just guessing. If you had to guess...
I have no clue, because for one, I don't sell, or to be honest with you, Marvel Champions was like almost the thing that got me into / board games / card games. So I'm like, I'm not very adept into like how much, like, I don't know how popular it is, and like I know when you talk about like Magic, and I know that's been around for a long time, and I guess I could take a better guess at that, but I have no clue. So
let me just make up numbers, and we'll do a high and a low. So I'm going to assume 10,000 copies of this game at a minimum have sold. Is that an okay minimum number to guess?
I mean, it's probably worldwide. It's probably higher than that, but yeah.
Correct. I agree with you. But let's say it was 10,000. And so Nelson, who has a very large Marvel Champions, and Dale, who had a very large Marvel Champions, they had 10 to 20,000 views, right? So that would mean every single person that bought a copy of the game watched a video. But if the number is 100,000 copies that sold and there's 10,000 views on their videos, that means 10% of people watched the video, right? But if it pushes beyond that to 1 million, which I think is too high, then it's 1% of people that watched a video. So that's just where I'm getting my numbers from, is how, what percentage of people are watching videos would be if the game sold somewhere from 100,000 to 1 million copies, which would be my guess. So
people in comments, if you can find out how, at this point in time, how many of core sets have been sold by Fantasy Flight. Or Fantasy Flight, can you please tell us how much? Let us know.
Yeah, I don't know. They tend to hold things close to their chest, so I don't see them.
I don't know. Like I think though,
LCG out of the game.
I think, and I could be wrong this, but I think our generation, or the generation that is upon us now and that we're in, I think there's a lot more, like it's not like pre-internet where it's more word of mouth, and like I think people do use YouTube and other social media to whether they should buy something. I really believe that is pretty common now, and I don't know. It's I didn't know we were gonna jump into this bunny trail into about this stuff, but it's interesting nonetheless. But I still think though that your numbers are interesting, and it'd be interesting to maybe research this more and see if what you're saying is really correct or not.
Can I give you a couple numbers here?
Yeah.
So, Marvel Champions, I'm just looking up the base game. One Stop Co-op Shop, right? This is Michael Kelly and Peter and Terrence who play a lot. But Michael's review has just under 10,000 views. The Dice Tower, which is Roy Cannaday, who's a very good friend of mine, they have 138,000 views. It's Tom Vassell, who owns and runs the channel, and Roy reviewing the game. And then Shut Up and Sit Down, which is a channel that's based out of England, has 369,000 views for their review.
That's pretty good.
So that gives you numbers of the review of the core box. And whatnot. Actually, this one's pretty high too. AntLab Games has 57,000 views. So it just gives you an idea of numbers of people that are watching, because I do agree with you. People are watching reviews, but of those three, barely any of them play the game live on their channel. One Stop does play it on their streaming channel. Peter and Terrence stopped because they did it for 3 years in a row on Fridays, But those other channels Roy has played a handful of games live on the Dice Tower channel.
Yeah, so I think originally, you were asking me kind of like about the difficulty, but yeah, I kind of explained it. But in a nutshell, I think there's so many different things that you can kind of hone in onto this game, like deck building. I know like that's a big thing for Steve that I think you mentioned and that he enjoys. And some people like the lore and the atmosphere of the game, like with the heroes and villains. And I know like Maurice, I don't know if you, he's another smaller content creator. Yeah. He wants to see the game go more into a story-driven type, choose your own adventure type thing, where you make choices and it's going to kind of flip the way the scenario plays out, or has more of a, I use that example as choose your adventure, where it really changes the game. So it'd be interesting to see where they go now with Next Evolution, or that has been dropped. I think the Deadpool hero looks amazing. The mechanics for the Deadpool is off the hook. I think that's, I keep telling myself, Descry, when are you going to hang up Marvel Champions? Like, I mean, you played the crap out of this game. Aren't you getting bored of it? But it's so hard because they release a new hero or a new villain scenario pack, and you're just like, oh my god, that looks really cool. The mechanic looks cool, I just keep coming back to the game. It's like I cannot like say goodbye to Marvel Champions. But do you think? Before we go, because I know you got stuff to do. But But do you think you'll ever get to a point that you're just gonna be like, oh, man, I can't do another Marvel Champions game. I played it just too much. You think that's ever gonna happen to you?
No, I'll never get to that point. I definitely have decreased dramatically. You know, I was playing 10 times a day, and now I may play. I generally don't even play once in a day. Like, this will be the time I play, and I probably won't come back to Champions today. I do play a large breadth of board games, and I have a podcast now for reviewing board games, so I'm playing a lot more other things. You know, it was great to have this during COVID and while people were around and watching, but it's definitely decreased. People are not home, you know, watching everything. And again, I want to be careful of saying, like, you playing Challenge is awesome, because we should have a channel where people are playing challenging things. For me, what's hard for me to always play the highest level of difficulty is what I enjoy the most is variety. And so you made that tier list of, like, these are the heroes and how they can do based on Standard 2, Expert 2. And I want to be able to play those heroes at the bottom of the list, so I don't want to play Standard 2, Expert 2. And when I stream, my biggest goal is to be entertaining. Even the 4-player games that are long, I want us chatting with each other, joking with each other, joking with the chat. Like, it's a fun atmosphere.
You don't want to be sweating, like drips of sweat coming down, stuff like that.
Right, and I don't, well, and specifically, I don't necessarily want to play the same thing and lose over and over and over again at 4-player. Like, the campaigns would not be fun for me if we got 5 wins in 40 plays. You know what I mean? And we had to play
but you guys really
every week.
I think you guys are pretty good
hard.
though. Like, I think all of you, the 4 of you, I think you guys are very competent, and you like. I mean,
but how does Standard 2, Expert 2 take longer, or not really?
See, I wouldn't even push Expert 2. I think just going to Standard 2 would add so much different flavor for your plays. I mean, I'll be real quick. I'm not going to talk too long about it, but you have more tempo for the villain, more activations. You have a higher reach with either damage or threading. You have boost abilities, additional boost cards, so get more reach. Your highest upgrader support gets taken off, which is better for the villain, because that gives the villain more of a chance to whittle you down and have its way with you. But it changes the meta a lot. It makes more cards like Target Acquire and Health be more important, more communication, more looking into, are both total annihilations out? You start to. I'm just saying. I think it's a sad thing, because the environment for Standard 2, I think, is kind of bad. Because what it does, and I know Steve kind of likes it, but what I'm saying about the environment, Formidable Foe, it really doesn't feel great when you're playing those stun confused heroes, because now you have a freaking steady. And
Do you play Hawkeye against Standard 2?
Well, here's the thing. I don't play with Formidable Foe. I'll play unless my stream really wants me to go super sweaty. I'll play Formidable Foe on Expert 2 or whatever. But my point is, I think just don't even put it into don't include it. Okay, just put the Standard 2 treacheries in, and trust me, I challenge you, like, just do your normal thing, like pick a cool villain and a modular you plan to play. Just swap out the Standard 1 with Standard 2 treacheries. Just see how that play feels. If you guys
did Rise of Red Skull campaign, we started the Rise of Red Skull.
Yeah, but you did the Formidable Foe and all that. Don't put Formidable Foe in.
Gotcha. Yeah, we couldn't get by Crossbones.
I'm telling you,
Crossbones
don't tell your play group. Just say Descry recommended something. It's special. You guys will find out as we play, and then just add the Standard 2, and just see how people. Steve will probably rage quit when he gets his Steve carrier taken away from him from a overwhelming force, but it's a fresh way of looking at the meta and everything, because to me that was a big game changer. I was getting very fatigued with the game, but because the only thing that was keeping me sort of in the loop was different mechanics, different modulars, but then just spicing it up with Standard 2 without the environment That was huge. That made, like I said, gave the villain more tempo and more reach. So what that means is you have the villain being able to kill you or actually win the game. Whereas just on expert, once you get kind of built and going, the machine, it's over for the villain usually.
Our next game is supposed to be Hela with Galactic Artifacts. I'm not sure that that's something I want to add. And player side scheme.
Like I said,
so I'm not sure if that's something to add standard too.
You could say to it, you know, I was on Descry's channel. We talked a lot, almost too much to talk, but he gave me a challenge for us guys. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You guys are going to find out, and then you know
we did it. We did Thanos, and we played him week after week after week. I think it took us. I think on our 5th attempt we got Thanos down.
Yeah, and here's the thing:
Doctor Strange,
S tier
Scarlet
villains,
Witch, and Adam Warlock.
S tier villains like Magneto, Venom Goblin, Ronan.
I think Thanos is S tier. Doesn't he feel A tier?
No, he's A tier, but he's very close to S. Like he's on the fence, right?
Yeah.
But I would say is you don't need standard 2 for those type, because what I would say about them is they already have very good toolkits to reach out and touch you or to scheme. Like they have mechanism with the counters and all that. But all the other villains, they benefit so much if you just put them in standard 2. But yeah, that being said, I know I am a little bit out there. I'm a little bit of a weirdo. You know, Descry, you never know. He says a lot of weird stuff. But I think, but we both like the game, you and me, and everyone else that we see on YouTube. I'm glad to have you here, and I'm glad I got to pick your brain a little bit about the game. Is there anything? I think we covered everything we wanted to cover. You don't have anything else?
I just want people to play the game the way they want to play the game, but also, you know, stretch a little bit. Like try Rush and see if you enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, if you have some time, try Standard 2 and see if you enjoy it. I think that's actually a great idea. Don't throw Standard 2 and Expert 2 in. Throw Standard 2 without Formidable Foe and see if you enjoy that. Maybe that's going to be more fun for you.
Don't put Formidable Foe in.
With Doctor Strange and with Cap and with whoever the other, you know, S-tier heroes are. Like, do that to increase your play. If you really like true solo only, then stick to that. Or maybe that's another thing, is maybe adding a second hero is a good way, you know, if you're playing solo a lot, and maybe you'll enjoy that. I got a lot of compliments. I played Rocket and Groot yesterday because people were saying they were struggling. I was like, they're 2 phenomenal heroes. It's just they came in a box with precons that they really struggled. Like, they just designed it backwards, you know?
Yeah.
I played them, and they were so fun, and people were like, oh, you made it fun, you played two-handed, you played quick, you made it interesting, you know, like there was a comment on that. I thought that was great. Like, that's what I wanted to show people. Like, these 2 heroes can win.
Right. Yep. Yeah, so just like what Brent was saying, you know, this whole stream was sort of about Rush, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about what we like about Rush. Yeah, we got a little sidestep, but ultimately, so if you haven't tried Rush, pick a hero that you like. You know, look at the toolkit. Again, the principles of Rush is really ignoring scheme, ignoring minions except for guard, and then trying to do as much damage and to survive, right? And but yeah, if you're new to Rush, I recommend just start in standard villains because they have lower HP, so you get the feel of it, how to do a good Rush. And then if you want to go to the pinnacle of testing your Rush, you can try Expert. But this was fun. Thanks, Brent, for joining me here. I will put a link to the Portal stream in the description. And I thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And with that, we're going to, I guess, say goodbye. And
I do want to say, I think Expert Rush is totally fine. I just think that about 30% of the heroes will struggle to rush on Expert, and about 30% of the villains will be difficult to rush down on Expert. Ronan not being one of them. Ronan is totally rushable on Expert. But there's other ones like Venom Goblin, who I think is very hard to rush. You know, he just pushes at you so fast.
Yeah, he's tough.
And has Retaliate and stuff like that. He's one of them, you know.
Stalwart.
Loki is hard to rush. So some of those... but
you
so
can't
I just
rush.
think that's an important part.
Yeah, you can't rush Loki, period.
I think Expert is totally fine. I got thrown off by it. Warlock Siege was a tricky one. I think Spectrum is totally fine. It's just wrapping your head around what the puzzle is the only part that threw me off in terms of playing Expert. But again, I think it cuts. I think it cuts out some of the heroes and it cuts out some of the villains, and that's okay. You still have 70% of the heroes, which, my goodness, is what, like 35 heroes, and 70% of the villains, which is another like 30 villains. So you've got plenty of matchups to do Expert Rush on and have a great time.
All right, guys.
And thanks for having me on.
Oh, no problem. It's